subscribers later, bajillions of views later. I remember when, because I feel so lucky to have known you for the duration I have. I remember when you were first talking about starting a YouTube channel. I remember when you were first about to move to Miami and we were at dinner in Austria at this like vegetarian place, Gelbus Crocodile, the yellow crocodile.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember like having this conversation and we had like almost like this pre-party of like, I'm so excited for what you're creating, what you're going to create. I'm excited for when you get, you know, the visas or different things to be able to move to America and be in Miami and all those things, and to be able to see that whole journey to where you are now too. And I love that you shared like, because I felt the same too when I started first being on camera, even though English is my first language and I was talking in English. Like I remember being like so nervous and like afraid to really be seen and am I good and all the
Yeah.
things. And to hear you say that of some of those beliefs you had, I think is so powerful, because looking at your YouTube channel now, and like even when you came to visit me in Utah, we were like on hikes, you were vlogging, like so comfortable, so in your element, so you. Um,
Hmm.
how did you get there? Like, how did you decide, okay, I'm going to be in front of the camera. Okay, I'm going to do it anyway, even though I'm scared? Like, what was your thought process and mindset once you actually started and growing?
Oh, I mean, back then it was just basically about showing up. But just like being part of the previous channel that I had with my ex-partner. Um, I must say I would almost like hide from the camera at the beginning. Um, Especially like you said, you are not comfortable being seen. And I felt like I was misunderstood because I couldn't be myself. It was not my first language or not my second language. I'm very fluent in German, so it would have been easier to do it in German for me, but doing it in English, where you can't express yourself in the same way, you don't have the same humor, you don't have the same character, you're lacking words, and it's just not as fluent. So I felt like every time I was in front of the camera, I felt awkward. I really didn't enjoy it at first, but I kept doing it. I also decided to switch my Instagram stories from German to English, which helped a lot. And eventually, just, learning by doing, just getting myself out there and showing up and just, yeah, not trying not to care too much about what other people would think or say. But I also remember when I started my own channel, which was Nellyslife. And I remember uploading that first video and was actually super proud of myself that I was able to sit down and just, make an introduction and I hit publish, and then I saw dislikes on my video. And there was more dislikes than likes. And that was so tough on for my ego. I was just like, I wasn't that bad. Like, why are people giving me thumbs down? What is wrong here? Like, I don't understand. And yeah, that actually had a very, very negative effect on me. I stopped doing my personal channel, Nelly's Life. And then, I was just continuing doing my previous channel that I had with my ex, and eventually got better and better over time and picked up Nelly's Life again. And if like when I see myself now, it's worlds in between. It's just like it's a whole different person that I see. I'm more lively, I'm more outgoing, very passionate and joyful. Like I can be myself because I was all got comfortable with everything, with the whole situation. Like you say, like it became my second nature to be in front of the camera.
Yeah. And from what I know of you and what I'm hearing you say, it was like a lot of comfort with your own personal self to then be able to show that on camera and to do it anyway, despite the dislikes, being
Yeah.
real about like, oh shit, that like hurt me. And that was, I remember
Yeah.
Life Like London started as a newspaper column that was also published online. And I remember I wrote a column about ways to like reduce stress or something. And I got a comment that was on there like, who is this girl? What are her credentials? Does she think she's a doctor? And I remember talking to my friend Tina, who was actually like a mom of a kid I went to high school with, but her and I became friends. We're still friends. And I remember like crying to her and like
Yeah.
sobbing over this one person's comment about me not being good enough, you know? And I resonate with
Yeah.
that so much because I was like so devastated and so sad. And I still couldn't not do it anyway. And it's cool to hear you say that too, where it's like all these feelings, all these emotions, all these human things, but then choosing to continue to show up and
Mm,
looking back at where you are now. I mean,
yeah.
sure your videos get dislikes and likes and people saying great things and shitty things. It's like part of the territory. But did you get like tougher skin? Did you not like care? Do you not care as much anymore? Do you just not look? Like, what's the difference now?
Okay. First of all, let me just share one similar story. Once I established myself as a YouTuber, I got invited by my home city, Linz, to come and do a vlog about how I experienced my home city. And I was actually really proud of the result, and people loved it. But then when the newspaper that actually wrote about it, when they posted it on their Facebook, the first comment was, she should get a job. And I was like, that is my job. Like, why are you telling me it's not a valid job? You know, like people have had these or still have these limited beliefs that, you're lazy, you're just not doing anything when you do YouTube, which was a little bit tough to overcome, I have to say. Even like talking to family and friends, explaining to them, I'm not making any money now, but eventually at some point I will. But people are like, but like how? Like I don't understand. And a lot of people just couldn't understand at the very beginning. So yeah, I tried to educate friends and family. I also tried to um, just keep going, really, just keep going. And like you said, you grow a thick skin. You read those comments. If you have a bad day, you take it personally. And I learned to just distance myself because I had to acknowledge that this comment is not about me in first place. This comment is about this person and this person's own beliefs, right? Maybe that person had a bad day. Maybe that person had a fight with his or her partner. You never know, right? So there's like the frustration that gets thrown at you without any valid reason. And I saw this comment of Tom Holland where he said, "If you have to criticize me, call me. If you don't have my number, like your criticism doesn't matter to me." So that was
Mm.
a very, very valid point. I'm like, okay, I take criticism when it's something about my, you know, uh, how I film things, or maybe when somebody says, "Oh, your audio is not really well, maybe you can improve the audio." I'll take that. But if somebody goes on the internet and says, "You suck," because for whatever reason, I'm like, okay, I learned to deal with it. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Yeah, right. A lot of those stories, I think, yeah, can go through both of our minds where it's just like, okay, I like that. If you don't have my phone number or you're not close enough to me to have my phone number, then I'm not going to take your
Not take
feedback.
it personal. Yeah.
Personal. Um, we talked a little bit before